we've got two phenomenal ladies from Michael Page. We've got Miss Zainab, who is a senior consultant recruiter. Along with her, we've got Lara. Hi, guys. We've got Lara Haides, who is an associate consultant. And Michael Page is known as a global professional recruiting agency, which has grown to become one of the best known and most respected consultancy. We are so glad to have you ladies from this wonderful company. I'd just like to say hi. How are you doing today?
Hi, Natasha. We are fine.
Hi.
Very happy to be here. Thank you very much for inviting us.
I am so excited to hear what you all have in store for us with this session where we get to learn about building our CV. Just a reminder to those who have joined us, please do not forget to submit your CVs and please stay in tune for what is about to be an amazing session. The floor is yours, ladies.
Thanks, Natasha. Perfect. Thank you very much, Natasha. Thank you very much to us, and thank you for all the organizer of this event. So, as a quick introduction for myself, senior consultant recruiter for our healthcare and life sciences division within Michael Page. Biochemist in my career, working for a pharmaceutical laboratory in Tunisia, control department, and to work in the Faculty of Medicine of Leipzig, Germany. And finally, I worked in consulting. I was supporting by providing consultancy services in different.
Thank you, Zainab, for the introduction. I'm just going to tap on my background, more in depth about it at the end of our. So I'm the associate consultant of the Michael Page. I'm myself, I'm a since I completed my bachelor in anesthetics, mainly in clinical, and here I am now working in recruitment in the healthcare.
Perfect. Thank you, Lara. So now we are going to speak first of all about Michael Page, about our healthcare and life sciences division. Then we will give you some tips about how efficient job search, also how to prepare your CV, how to create a high impacted CV, and finally we about how to prepare an interview. So let's
a brief introduction about Mike. We are a 250 recruitment agency that is worldwide, and over 40 years recruitment all around the world. We are present in 36 different countries with 140 offices around the globe and more than 6 states. The biggest positive thing about Michael Page actually is that we work on a global database. So the database in Dubai, same database they access their country, which gives us access to candidates internationally in our region. On LinkedIn, since we're very active as well, we have more than 2 million engaged followers. And we've been operating out of Dubai since 2006. In the UAE, we have the offices for Dubai, and we work for Saudi from here. We have an office based in Abu Dhabi too. At the moment, we're at 65 consultants, and we're recruiting 15 different industries. So on average, we have more than 60,000 for jobs on a monthly basis, and we work on local and sector specific networks. That means because we have 15 different disciplines. So let's say healthcare is one of them, finance is another, HR might be another, tech, IT, etc. So we work on a sector basis, and in each sector we have specialized consultants with the specialized background. And we are experts in national and expat talent sourcing, as I mentioned earlier, because we do recruit for international candidates from our database. Now, diving deeper into healthcare and life sciences, it is one of the disciplines at Michael Page, and it's where me and Zainab are specialized in. Healthcare, we are specialized of healthcare, medical devices, pharma, and life sciences. When we say healthcare, that would mean laboratories, hospitals, and clinics.
Yes, to give a little bit more information about the pharma and medical devices for these two sectors, we are mainly focused on recruiting salespeople, marketing people. By technical position, we mean regulatory affairs, medical affairs, etc., etc. So perfect. Thank you very much, Lara, for this introduction to Michael Page. Now we are going to the next slide, and we will a little bit more information about how to navigate search. First of all, it is important to have a plan, but please, if you don't have a very concrete one, a very specific one, because at this stage it's completely normal that you don't have an overview of the market and the different that you might have. But it's interesting to create maybe 2 or 3 options that you can explore. So for example, you can choose the option to start your career working in a manufacturing site. You can also explore the option of working in research and development, work in quality, for example. 2 or 3 options, and then you will start to research your interest. So first of all, you need, very important for you as a fresh graduate, during all your current trends that you are targeting. Yes, what are the company, for example, what are the therapeutic area that are recruiting the most, etc. Who has choose your different option, then you look at the companies existing within the region under your interest, and you will do the companies, and you will start to understand what types of profile, for which kind of value they are defending, which kind of education they are looking for, the job types, etc., etc. Important point here, it would be interesting for you as a fresh graduate to target company offering graduate schema. I highly recommend this kind of within your career, because this kind of years to work in different, and will allow you to have a view of what the market offer. So for example, work for as their graduate schema. So the first 6 months you will do an internship in sales, the 6 month later in marketing, then one in procurement and supply chain, internship in, I don't know, research and development, etc., etc. Allow you to, and it's very interesting to have it. And don't be afraid of a lot of internship. You are still young, and it's very beneficial for you and for your career later. Then you will start to do clearly the job search, and you will have many tools that exist and that they will help you to find. First of all, the job boards. Okay, so LinkedIn is the most powerful tool, and us as a recruiter, we use it a lot. We have Golf Talent, we have Bait, and so within job board, you will have to set profile. You will have alerts. For example, if you are interested by a quality career, you can put job alerts, new job within certain time. Also, you company career website. As I said before, you will have your market map with all you would like to target. So within all this company, you will have a look at their website, and you can also have online and job alerts to receive all their recruitment opportunities. Finally, you will reach out to the market. So don't be afraid, especially here in the region. So don't hesitate to reach out directly to people, to reach out directly to recruitment, acquisition team, to the hiring manager, etc., etc. My own when I started my job within Michael Page, I applied to a job, of course, on internet, but also I went on LinkedIn, and I found the name of a recruiter responsible directly to him. I introduced myself, I forward my CV, then I get the opportunity put yes, to accelerate the recruitment. So yes, not it. About the next slide, which consists in Natasha, can you go to the perfect? Thank you, Natasha. So yes, now let's speak about the CV to have a high impact CV. Your business, and to know that recruiters then see sometimes every day, like tens of CV every day. Perfect, creative one, etc., etc. First of all, always interesting to have a personal photo of yourself. Of course, no selfie, no filter, no sunglasses, a very professional picture. It's very important. In the headline, it's always important to yes, to summarize like your current situation. For example, as a fresh graduated, you can write fresh graduated student actively looking for new opportunities. It is the first thing that the recruiting manager will see. So for example, we can actively looking for new opportunity in this kind of area. Yes, add this kind of information because it's very important. And of course, you have to personalize your headline according to your contact. You will not send the same CV to a hiring manager in quality or another one in regulatory. Also, you will need also to update your personal information. It is very important to birth, location, but most important, your contact detail. It's very easy to the recruiters to phone number, your email address. You have a summary completed. In first summary, you will do a summary of who are you, what defines you, what makes you you. As we will say later. So you can speak about your education, you can speak about your different internship and about what you are looking for. Then after the summary, then we will be in the core of your CV, which are your different work experience. Appreciate graduate, we don't have a lot of work experience and it is complete fine. But you can also add some interesting project that you join or you manage during your studies. For every work history, you need to put as much as possible, especially that now you are a fresh graduate. So you need to give a lot of context about what you did, a lot of context. You have to give a lot of information about your main tasks, about your main achievements as well. Okay, so for example, let's take an example about an internship that you did within Sanofi, within marketing. Okay, so as a context, I get the opportunity to work for Sanofi over 6 months. I was reporting manager, always put a little context regarding the structure. And I was working within the marketing team. My main tasks was to organize seminar, organize online event, creating content, etc., etc. And then your successfully launch a new website regarding a new product that we launch. Always add your achievement. Okay. Then, of course, it's always interesting to have your professional references. If you don't have them, or if you don't get the authorization from your your previous employees to do it. Just you can write professional references will be given upon a request. And of course, if you have any video, document, presentation, etc., who can add value to your CV, please don't hesitate to do it. And once again, don't hesitate to highlight all the job that you did during studies, because is only our work in a corporate world, but it's not. I'm sure that during your studies you worked on different projects, team projects, etc. Don't hesitate to add them. I will be happy to speak after if you have any question regarding your CV, give you more information about it. And yes, now let's go to the next slide, and we will speak about the interviews. So now let's pretend that you already do all the company that you would like to target. After creating 2 or 3 options, that you reach out to people working with the company, reach out to the HR people, but not only the HR people, reach out to the hiring manager. So for example, if you are looking for a quality specialist position, to of a company by sending him your CV. Let's pretend that you did everything and you find it's very, very, very important to prepare it. And your first interview will take you a lot of time to prepare it. I was preparing my interview during day. After 5 years of experience and so on, you will not need to prepare it as much as possible, but especially because you will need to create your brand, you will need to prepare it a lot. Think about it. First of all, you will need to know what makes you. What is your added value in terms of interest, in terms of ambition, etc., etc. You need to prepare your personal brand. What will make you different from other candidates? You will need, as it is written, research. The more research you will do, the more confident you will be during the interview. And so first of all, you will need to do research about the company that you are approaching. What are their main competitor? What is the history of a company? Where are their manufacturing sites? Where are their location? Different offices, their challenges, ambition, etc., etc. You need to know the company. It's very important. Number of people working within this company, etc., etc. Also, you will need to, as I told you at the beginning, you will need to demonstrate your market and business. And it is very important, especially that you are working in our industry. It is very important to educate yourself very often about the trend within this market, because it evolves so fast. And it's an advice that I get on now, but even during your career, even 5 years, 10 years, it's always important to educate yourself about what's happening. Otherwise, you will be too late to do it. Need to have a look at the people that you will meet. It's always important. And now we have a great tool. Interview, have a look on internet. They like to do their education, and sometimes you will find common point with these guys, and you can speak about it during the interview, and it will make like a very good vibes during the interview. It's important to do it. And once again, you will show to recruiters that you took the time to prepare your at their background, etc., etc. And tailor your approach. Of course, these are all the theory advice that I give you, and then of course you will tailor according to the people during the interview. All this research, you will have to prepare it in a okay, and this sentence is true, and it says failing to prepare is preparing to fail the interview. Unfortunately, without preparation, there is a lot of chance to fail the interview. So as I told you, you need to research about the company, the people, the products, the competitor, etc., etc. You need to prepare your background, and to prepare your background, your experience, I highly use the STAR technique. S for situation, for task, A for action, and R for to be for the preparation of a CV, you will need to do the same during the interview. So the same example that I give you before. Situation, I got the opportunity to work within Sanofi in the department, marketing department. The task, I was creating in Arabic. I was organizing seminar, etc., etc. And the action was I called people who are responsible of doing this. I coordinate the activities between our communication agency and I did this and this and this. And then the result, our traffic of our the traffic within our Instagram page, for example, or LinkedIn page by this number. It's all to speak about numbers during an interview, so it shows to the recruiter that you really got results and good achievement. Of course, during the interview, you will need to practice before the interview. Sorry, you will need to practice, and the more you will practice, once again, the better you will be during your interview. The more confident you will be. Practice with different people. So, for example, you can ask friends, you can ask colleagues, you can ask all ask. So important. And as we say, the first impression are always the good ones. And sometimes recruiters during the first 2 minutes can know if they will recruit this person or no. So for that to do a good first impression. Your introduction should be known by heart, and you should do it in a lot of confidence. Very important. Then we will type to fit all the requirements. And what I always recommend is to show your long-term approach. Even if you are fresh graduated, you always need to project your need to ask a lot of questions, to be curious about what they are doing. Ask them questions about their organization, their daily work, which kind of career path can they offer if you can also challenge the recruiters. It's completely fine. And sometimes it's better. Of course, you need to stay humble. Of course, you will need to stay, you will not, you don't have to be arrogant, but please challenge the recruiter. Ask them about your place within the company. Yes, I think that last point. When you prepare your interview, please prepare your question and go to the interview paper, because sometimes with the stress of the interview, we forgot our questions. And now Lara will speak about her personal experience.
Thank you. I needed that information when I was going to the job. So thank you for that. And if anyone has any questions related to the content Zeineb explained, feel free to share it with us, of course, at the end of the conference. And thank you so much for having me for this conference, because I always wanted to speak a little bit more about my background and how I shifted into recruitment. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself and what I studied. So after doing my entire school years in the UAE, I moved to Lebanon and I studied at the American University of Beirut. I did not even think twice about what I wanted to do, and nutrition option I wanted. So that's the only thing I applied for, and luckily, program I graduated with the Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics. While I was in my second year, I noticed that I really liked clinical, and the university gave us the option to delve deeper into clinical and then join a coordinated program. So this program provided us an extra year to do several internships. And in my last year, I did a semester abroad in New York where I did multiple internships, not only in clinical nutrition, but as well food service and community. Now, when I first started my education, I thought that nutrition was only clinical. I realized that there is also more community. And once in my head, all I wanted was to join, it was a hospital. Now, unfortunately, I graduated in the middle of the pandemic, and that didn't give me much of a choice to, know what I wanted. And with the limitations and access to hospitals and clinics that. So luckily, someone reached out to me from Michael Page, and I had to keep some options open because at the end of the day, I can't. So I thought I'd give it a try. I learned is what the corporate world is like, even though I did not have any experience of the job. But I kept the doors open. I gave it a try, of course, and that's how I started off as an intern at my age within the healthcare and life science. I last month, sorry, to an associate consultant, where I now work on junior roles in healthcare and life sciences, but mainly specialized in healthcare in terms of hospitals and clinics. Now, entire educational time, all my internships were being done at major hospitals. I worked at AUBMC, which is the #1 hospital in the Middle East, an educational hospital. So when I first joined as an intern, I always thought of how I can use the skills I learned, how I can use my educational background. Now, as Zainab mentioned at the beginning, we're high in recruiting within pharma, medical devices, and life sciences. We worked with the major pharma such as AbbVie, Sanofi, Johnson and Johnson, etc. And one goal was to develop healthcare further. And I started off not particularly in recruitment, but it was market insights, following the trends, knowing more about what is available in the UAE, who's recruiting, who's not. And we had to actually develop our own data to reach out to so many people, managers, chief level, sometimes had able to connect with more hospitals. And luckily, after all this time, we now work with such as healthcare group, and much more. The main aim we had, and luckily we were able to achieve that after a couple of months. And the main positive of it is because I joined with an aim that I want to use everything I learned to apply it within huge change, because once you speak with people managerial levels, you would be able to relate with what they're saying. You would be able to relate with the people they would like to hire. And I worked a lot with multi teams such as doctors, therapists. So it was everyone was involved in the medical care process of the patient. Meet with a manager or with a doctor, you would be able to understand clearly what they're looking for, the background of this doctor. So that's the build your self credibility, and the person you're speaking with would trust you further throughout the conversation. So what I would like to, highlight and my part actually was to say that not really everything. And as Zainab mentioned, within the pharma industry, there's way more than the scientific part of the job. There's vigilance. You can enter quality control, quality assurance, and as well, I'm sure there are other things like research and development. So you can tailor what you want to work in, your interest. So it's not always the case that, let's say you would, in my case, I wanted to say that I really don't like recruitment or I don't like healthcare consulting. So it is never wrong. 100% it is not wrong to not know what you want at the beginning. And as Zainab mentioned, of course, it is definitely not wrong to do multiple internships, because you do get exposed to the different aspects of pharma or any other healthcare. So finally, as a huge accomplishment for us, for my page, research and the months of hard work with this launching healthcare and life sciences. So it does take time. Nothing comes in a day or two, but at the end of the period you're working in, you will definitely see a change. And yeah, that's quite about myself. And if anyone has contemplating on what they want to enter or questions about my personal experience, I'd be more than happy to answer.